Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by the channel. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button, check out the bell icon, make sure you're getting notifications. Today's quick take is about a court case involving a professor, Meriwether, versus trustees of Shawnee State University. So here's the situation. Very, should we say, devout Christian philosophy and political philosophy professor was being disciplined by the state, the state university, Shawnee State University, for refusing to use a person's preferred pronouns. It's involved a student that was born male, identifies as female, and insisted that the professor refer to him by those pronouns. The professor said, look, my religious and personal beliefs will not allow me to do this. I'm paraphrasing the entire case, of course. The student filed a formal complaint, and the college began discipline procedures. The professor said, hey, look, I'm going to put in the syllabus of my class, my beliefs. And they said, no, you're not going to do that. And so here's the irony. Universities, colleges, places of higher learning have for a long time been, and rightly so, a environment where ideas should be discussed, and people should be challenged on their positions. What the Shawnee State University, what this government entity, this government body was doing to their employee was telling them, you can't do that. You're no longer allowed to have a view that runs counter to the prevailing cultural mindset today, and we're going to silence you while you're working. And everybody's like, well, that's right. Well, guess what? He won. He has won his case. They are not, what they did to him. The Supreme, or not, excuse me, not the Supreme Court, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled in his favor, saying, no, you cannot force a person to change or remain silent on their beliefs just because they're working. The attorney for the Alliance Defending Freedom, John Birch, said this, and this I'm going to try and quote this verbatim. The case forced us to defend what used to be common belief, that nobody should be forced to contradict their core beliefs just to keep their job. We are very pleased that the Sixth Circuit confirmed the constitutional right of public university professors to speak and lead discussions on even hotly contested issues. The freedoms of speech and religion must be vigorously protected if universities are to remain places where ideas can be debated and learning can take place. So here's this. I hate the idea of saying, well, this sets a precedence, because every situation can be different. It can be somewhat, should we say, a hotbed issue, and in every single individual particular comes into play, and so we can't say, oh, this just blanket sets a precedence and there's nothing we can do about it. That's not true. But this does start to build a case for public employees, people who work for government entities, government organizations, government bodies, to be able to say, look, as long as I am speaking as a private citizen, as long as I am not speaking as a representative, but speaking just my views, you cannot require me to say X, Y, or Z, or not say X, Y, or Z. Now, there again, there's a time and a place for everything. But this starts to fall into that area where do your liberties end and where do they begin? And this is a very encouraging win, an incredibly encouraging win right here, because no one at all should ever be forced to abandon in any capacity their beliefs or their constitutionally enshrined thoughts or liberties, excuse me. So this is a huge win for not just for the Alliance Defending Freedom, not just for Professor Meriwether, but for all Americans, especially those who work in the public realm. Now, by public, I don't mean work in a business in public. I mean work as employees of the public sector, even if it's your local dog catcher, even if it's your local facilities supervisor for your city hall. They don't have to hold a certain position or remain silent on a certain position just to keep their job. And that's an amazing statement from John Birch. Just an amazing statement. And listen to what he said again. This case forced us to defend what used to be common belief, that nobody should be forced to contradict their core beliefs just to keep their job. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, this case forced us to defend what used to be a common belief, that nobody should be forced to contradict their core beliefs just to keep their job. That's huge. That's huge. And that's where we're at in our society right now. So think about this one carefully. Think about where you're at in this argument. Okay? Think about that. Especially people in public service. You have to understand there is a time and there is a place. But when you have someone telling you, oh no, you're not allowed to vocalize that. You can't say that. You can't share that. You can't, you can think what you want to think, but don't you dare say certain things. They don't get to do that. Be smart. Be sharp. Be reasonable. Be logical about the method and the manner and the time and the place. Okay? But don't let people push you around. Okay? Be like Professor Meriwether. Stand up for yourself. Fight the fight. Okay? Don't do illegal things, genuinely illegal things. Don't be that person who goes out and breaks laws just because you say, well, I don't agree. But fight the fight, especially in this day and age where we are being told to not speak our minds on constitutional issues, where we're being told that we aren't allowed to speak out on stuff. Speak your minds. Make sure that you're being heard. Be strategic, be smart, but fight, okay? And take a page from Dr. Nicholas Meriwether, okay? And if you're under the gun, find some help. Get some help. And I don't mean psychological help. Get some help. Don't think that you don't have the ability to fight. Make sure you're fighting. Be Dr. Nicholas Meriwether. Stand up for yourself, okay? And, thank you so much to the Alliance Defending Freedom for taking on this case and winning it thus far. Let's see where it goes from here, but I'm going to stay on top of it. And I will be speaking out the more I hear about this. So once again, this is a very encouraging win for people who stand on the Constitution, for people who stand for religious liberty, who stand for First Amendment issues. This is phenomenal. And I'm super encouraged to hear that this case is going in favor of Professor Meriwether and the Alliance Defending Freedom. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, Sic Semper Tyrannis.